And welcome back to the DreamHack Valencia Showdown. We are almost good to go. The players are now in the server. It looks like the issues have been smoothed out. I see headsets on, I see focus on the face. So it looks like we're almost there.
Yeah, the server conditions are looking pristine. The grass is green and the sky is warm. I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's Inferno. Things are heating up here as we head in to our second best of one of the day. 7 p.m. versus the Besiktas as we head on in to Inferno, and it will be Besiktas over on the CT side. 7 p.m. kickstarting this one on the T side of things. MMC going to be picking up the utility here for her squad, or M rather.
Let's have a little look what the hit is. It looks like
it
it's
might just be a flat B play.
Yeah, Misa's got a lot to deal with. If she can slow this down, that'd be amazing, but it's going to be incredibly hard. It's or not. Or it's fine. Picks up one for free. Very nice. The retake's going to happen on Banana, though. That's going to be Giuliano, Zaz, all kind of leading the way down there. MMC does have a bit of a beat on this. Good little angle, spots out, swings out, gets put down. Giuliano leaps onto that. But they've got a bomb plant here and a site to hold. And good ground covered thus far by Misa sitting in towards Ruins. They couldn't get in towards that position. But this retake's not going too perfectly. Leo's still alive in a 1v3. The bomb is ticking. They've got to get on that.
And they are on it. They are sticking it. Leo is going to get put down. And so it will be the Besiktas to get back on top in that retake. They will find the pistol here over on the CT side and move 1-0 up. Bomb plant there, though, for 7 p.m. does leave them with some interesting decisions. We've seen teams kind of electing to go for these force buys a lot more. Originally, that was kind of what I figured would be the case with the economy update and, you know, the kind of changes that came in, right? The fact that now you bank a bit of that loss bonus. But they're not going to decide to force. They're not going to excite us with anything out the gate. Instead, they just want to get all those rifles out in round number 3. And I like that. You just play it safe.
I don't find those terrible force buys exciting. I hate it.
You?
No, because then it just screws your economy late game. I'd much rather this.
I think T-side Inferno, it's pretty justifiable to not, because you maybe aren't as reliant on getting those AWPs out. But the reason why I don't mind it is because in this second round, you don't have that bad a chance of picking it up, right? You force ball, and then you get AWPs and stuff in round 4. But I think, you know, it does just depend on your play style, how you want to play. Do you want to take the safe approach?
Ooh,
do you want to be measured?
Hold on.
Well,
that ain't bad.
Yeah, they've got down long. All 5 players here, they do line up for Zaz. They're now Crazy down in the pit, putting a stop to this long play. She's shut this entire round down. It went from looking oh so good to oh so bad in the blink of an eye.
But I think they lost out on a rifle there, if not maybe more. That's not ideal money-wise. Like, you don't want to be losing on those rifles, because you know they're going to have the purchase here. So I'm pretty sure...
Yeah, they lost 2 M4s.
2 of the players there, yeah, and I don't think they were able to pick that back up because Crazy had hers anyway. And I see that, I think it was Misa and Giuliano were the ones who were alive. Anyway, that's a bit of a loss. Financially, it's a loss for Besiktas. They do at least get the round, though. That's perfectly fine. Nice purchase for 7 p.m. here. No AWP out yet on Hazel, but we'll see what goes on. We do have a little bit of a stack on towards quad. I think Petrus has been boosted up there. Nice little angle from Hazel, working with that smoke as best she could. Managed to keep her life as well, which is very nice for her. Keeps that utility at least relevant to this, even if she's down to 15 HP.
Yeah, she's feeling fine with that right now, sitting 5v4 up. 7 p.m. They're just going to apply the brakes. They, actually starting to aggress over here into the apartments. They have 2 players here, and they might meet someone. About to creep into balcony. Zaz has taken up position over at this portion of the map. She has to be a bit careful, though, because they haven't probed this side of it just yet. Won't be ready for the player holding close, but is allowed to escape with her life intact. Petra up on the boost, and she can see heads for days. Leo will get the trade at least, and they do keep the woman advantage in their favor, or the man advantage, whatever. But Giuliano left in the 1v3.
Yeah, I felt for Zaz in that position. She had to try and make the play. She had no ground to play from otherwise, and she just got outplayed at quad. And this take from 7 p.m. has been really nice, like genuinely a really hard to hold take. I thought the boost at quad would have had more success, but only managed, I think, to maybe get 1 or 2 from there, if at most. And now Giuliano's retake has kind of come to a bit of an awkward predicament. No flashes to play back in on. She just needs to play the 1v1s now. Able to get down the smoke at least, isolate the site player, but beyond that, that was a very well-constructed set piece from 7 p.m. Yes, they did get the opener. Yes, they did have, you know, player advantage towards A, but that was very well played out.
Yeah, especially with Petra up on that boost, right? That was really the thing that you know, the fact they're able to deal with it so quickly, she's only able to get, there was 3 kills potential for her over in mid, but she only got 2 before she was traded, and then obviously Hazel kickstarting that round with the advantage as well did help massively, and you can see the ramifications this has had, right? Those players that fell in that second round, losing those rifles has really had implications here into round number 4. Just these 2 Famises for the force buy of Besiktas. Rifles, yeah, across the board. And yeah, it is a risky one, right? Because they've put everything into this round. They've got no cash left looking at the future. So if they lose this one, they're ecoing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still catching up on the new economy, so I could be wrong on this, but this is a very, very heavy purchase for what they had for Besiktas. Nice flash though, set them up on towards Banana. Juliana actually gets away with it too. Smoke as well, going to slow down maybe a quick answer. That's a nice play. Keeping calm under any of the strain. Now MC does need to be a little bit careful, does have the bomb there on Banana. The rest of them are starting to look back towards middle, but they still have that utility to play with, but a really nice kind of hit and run from Giuliano. That's what you want. Get it back to maybe an advantage you can work with, considering they only have P250s, Deagles, and a CZ. It looks like this is all but a ruse.
Yeah, a really nice note. Actually, Hanway, we'll hold this because Crazy's about to push out and find these guys over in mid. Yeah, she spots everyone. However, information's only half the battle. The other half of the battle, as it turns out, is the battle. And Petra, she's trying to step up to the plate. Oh, she's digging them down, dancing around at the bomb site. And Petra, what is this? She's torn them apart. She's won this round for Besiktas, surely. And what a round. What a way to find a third. Whoo, that is exciting. And what I was trying to say, a nice little detail from if you missed it, was she threw that smoke into B and then retrieved her dead teammate's smoke at Banana so that she could throw down 2 and make it look like that fake into the B bomb site. And it also means that if any players had pushed down the Banana, they wouldn't have retrieved smokes to then slow down any of these plays that 7pm could have looked to make later in the round.
Now, I obviously want to highlight that Petra just played that so well, but also Crazy's information allowed Petra to come back from that rotation. She had already started to lean towards B. They read into that fake. So that was just really well played from Crazy too, to kind of be, you're an expendable player at that point. You're probably not going to get much more than that. You spot the players on the cross, they're going to probably isolate you. But that was just good timing for you to spot them going back up middle. Nice little individual play there from Crazy, from the young gun. Now we do see a similar situation on the other side, where it's a far from perfect purchase. Obviously a lot worse off with no armor, limited utility, 2 flashes and a nade is all you got, and Hazel's already getting chunked down here. And nicely timed on the utility. Giuliano needs to be careful to not get caught, because that flash could not be more perfect, but apparently Giuliano doesn't need to be able to see. She's just fine, racking him up, put him in the body bags. That's 4 kills. She wants the ace, but MMC feels like feeding in the other direction.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just a game of like, don't give her the ace, and she won't get it. But
that was so
regardless,
lucky.
Yeah, like she was fully flashed. She fires about 6 bullets and gets 3 kills from it in a matter of seconds. That was, it's just been now a few remarkable. Look at that. The third one's just moving.
Where was that?
I feel really, really bad for Maze in that situation, because like she's far left of the smoke. She gets caught by just a stray bullet. Yeah.
Dude. Feels bad. All right, let's see what they've got now in store. I want to see if maybe there's a little bit of a switch up here from the CTs, because this is a big round for 7pm, and those deep nades have done dirty damage. Maybe a nice read into where Hazel's position paid dividends before. Hazel pushed up Banana, sat in the cubby, was able to get that opening pick. It looks like there's been maybe a bit of a, I guess, a realization of this with those deeper nades coming down instantly towards that position. So already damage being dealt towards 7pm, Hazel on half and Leo just above. And Crazy falling back a little bit further from Apps, but this is a slower round from 7pm. They have the utility to play with, they're not in a hurry. We're going to try and draw some of that out from Besiktas, but they seem very calm under this sort of pressure.
Oh, they will throw that short smoke, try and grab this control over in top mid, just looking to set this default up. I'm curious if we're going to see like an attempt at maybe a CT wrap from one of these players over in top mid, or if this is just to keep these 3 players inside of the A bomb site, and it does look to be the latter. However,
that's bomb.
They aggress down Banana, they spot the bomb, and now it's become all too clear the plan in this round. Petra's found another. That was the player over towards that A bomb site. So now these rotations can come through.
Utility. Yeah, that utility play from Misa to buy time was excellent, just hindering that progress just enough to allow those rotations from Crazy to come in. I don't think Crazy was expected to be crossing without smokes then, but Petra and Zaz working up Banana. Misa still on the side, just biding time, trying to keep them relevant in this one. But Zaz appears on the scene with Petra, and that's the play up Banana, and it's shut down. But credit again to Misa, buying time, allowing time for those rotations to come through. And Besiktas, after that pick on Banana itself, seeing that bomb go down, instantly heading over. So considering 7pm are throwing a lot of curveballs at them and a lot of kind of intricate plays, Besiktas are holding themselves very well in this situation.
Yeah, and I do think, just for the Besiktas, you're kind of seeing, like, in these last few rounds especially, the kind of key players that we've been speaking about really stepping up, really coming into their own. Zaz has had a couple of big moments in that last round there. She gets 2 of them, along with Petra pushing up through Banana. That was fantastic.
Wait, is that Vilga? Oh my god, it's Vilga. Everyone's a Vilga fan. You gotta be.
No, yeah, I mean, I think but that's the thing. There are like just these, there's a few like female pro players where they are like household names, right? Yeah. And there's a few of them here. And, within this Besiktas roster, it is definitely kind of Zaz and Giuliano, who are the 2 that we would look to. But it's been a great start from Petra, Crazy, and co. Misa as well, with a great timing play in that last round there. I do just think that this Besiktas roster is really feeling like a very cohesive unit at this point in time.
Ooh, we got Orbs out. Do they line up?
Banana play. They line up for a bit of damage, but now Giuliano's got to fight with the pistol.
She's sticking out here. That's nuts. She had so much faith in Misa to be able to support her, and you can see as to why. That's a big shutdown, and it's a very brazen and bold play. To be out there with an AWP up against pistols, it's so easy to be overwhelmed and overrun. And, well, you can see why Giuliano was so bold.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good reason to be confident when you're able to rely and play off your teammate like that. She sees that peek, and it's like that realization. You hear all the footsteps, you know that your time is limited, but she's just so confident in this. To take these peeks and stick around, doesn't look to try and exit the second she has that ability to.
We've got the AWP out. We've got the other AWP out.
Hazel's
Show me the money, Hazel.
Yeah, this is what you've been waiting for, Lauren. I'm excited. Let's see. Big moment. We've been bigging this up all day long. Hazel on this AWP. She's taking it over towards Banana, and she's looking to go toe-to-toe with Giuliano here.
That'd be a fun little fight, wouldn't it? But look at the double AWPs.
Ooh, a little
bit of a boost, bit of a tag. Got to fall off this, because that instant response is to get towards that, to get that pressure building. See them just going through the motions, clearing as they go. But Hazel could definitely do with a little boost here. 3 kills ain't the superstar performance I was sold. But it looks like you're seeing the CG side just digging in here. Giuliano, that's pretty passive for Giuliano. I'm not gonna lie to you. She's an aggressive player. She smells, blood in the water. She's off on it. She'll chase that down. But it does seem as though they're pulling rotations over. Misa has left, and he's heading over towards CT Arch. So you're gonna have that 4-man play towards A, 4-woman play. I don't care how you want to phrase it. It doesn't really bother me. And if anyone, I could be bothered. But it does seem like they are going to be taking that mid control. So already going to try and force back Besiktas into deeper positions. And that CT Arch burst worked last time. Will it work again?
Well, let's see. I mean, this time with 4 players over at A, and that's all thanks to Giuliano, just anchoring down Banana. It is going to be a much harder task to get in to this bomb site. Smoke's now falling, and Petra, no scope, able to get another. There's a player up on top off the pallet. She'll actually shut down Petra here. They're still continuing with this A play. And it's Misa still in this position at the library that could shut this entire round down. She's dropped the bomb, 20 seconds, it's out in the open. They have found her, and Crazy down in the pit once again. Locking down this A bomb site. Leo will get the kill, down to the 1v1. She has the bomb, only 8 seconds, so she has to get this planted. Giuliano knows she's sticking it, so she just goes barreling in. She tries to take this fight. She's homed in on the angle, but not the right one. And Leo very aware. She spotted the barrel. Giuliano creeping forward. Leo's on it, and Leo's going to find the kill. 7pm. They salvage that round. They break down the 4-player stack inside of A, and they lock in a second on the back of it.
I do want to get worried about complacency here with what's in my mind. Petra's play was brilliant for the no-scope, right? But the re-peek on the Deagle, I think, was a little bit overzealous. You already had a player in towards library. You could have fallen off that. And I don't mind confidence, right? It's great when it works out, but you've got to be able to play your basics, because 7pm, you can't take them lightly, and I think this is a reminder now. This should kind of tighten up the Besiktas team to just play that normal style.
Yeah.
Don't get over-aggressive, find the balance.
If you kind of want to like find a parallel, it's almost like in the matchup that we saw earlier, right? Where you think about kind of Dignitas lost those 2 rounds, and then they were like, okay, well, let's just put our noses back to the grindstone. We'll play some solid Counter-Strike. And yeah, Petra there, you can see, right? She opened up with just like a phenomenal no-scope and then hits the follow-up shot. She was just feeling it. She tries to play off the back of it. And obviously it doesn't work out, but this round is looking a bit more decisive.
Really nice.
As they have kind of knuckled down, and
really
everyone
nice.
finding kills apiece across the map. The trades trying to come through, the equalizer's looking to be found. But instead, it's just that advantage getting extended further and further in favor of this CT side.
Yeah, it's a quick reminder. I feel like once 7pm bring it to situations where they can maybe find, I don't want to say fair 1v1s, but more like individual player moments. Like when they were on that A site, for example, it gets a little closer, but you can see the Besiktas are keeping them at arm's length. You've got those double orbs out, you might as well use them. Petra this time dedicated to that angle, not going to move from that as long as she can. Stick it out. Does she have a player in towards quad? No, I think Zaz, yeah, Zaz is watching the deeper angle. Really nicely timed on that, beautifully played. And Zaz can now sit this one out. You can bait on the sound if you want, but Zaz can sit in towards that cubby and just play this through. I mean, this is what you want to be seeing. This is the level of play I expect. It's patient, it's well-rounded. This is a team looking like a favorite, right? This is it to me. It's not just that, you know, rush them down, run them down. And I think we saw that in the end from, you see Zaz and Giuliano during, I guess, when they had that dip down in performance. I think they started to get punished doing those sort of plays. So it's good to see that kind of leveling out here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think I have to agree, right? It was like Team Secret, they back when they were the best female team, right? It was... When they kind of lost that edge and they would keep like trying to go for the same aggressive plays that they were so good at before. Yeah. And it kind of reminded me of like when we had the NIP era of them being like so talented individuals, they were ahead of the game, but then it was like when other people started innovating, started catching up, that was when the cracks really started showing. You know, you couldn't just do it on the raw confidence and aim alone. You needed to have a bit more substance there. And I'm liking what we're seeing from this Besiktas roster because it does feel like they have found a bit more of a solid play style. Demonstrated really well at the end of that last round as well by them not hunting the last remaining player. Even though they heard the Molotov tag over in mid, they let her escape. They play the numbers game. Tag almost comes through over in mid. Giuliano knows she's lucky to be alive.
Spotted, yeah. The barrel of the gun just showed for a second then, and that was, you know, enough to get a shot out of them, so she's fallen off this, but it's a quick read again. Misa very quick on the rotates. I like what they're doing with players on B. They'll use these anchor points well. They put Giuliano there before. Now they've kind of switched it up. Petra's over there just holding where it is. Hazel's waiting for a push down Banana, but that's not what we're seeing from this team. It's a much more patient, dedicated team, and I think we're seeing 7pm having to work that out now. Going to fall back on towards these hits, and it worked well before. This actually called them off, but with 4 players here this time, it's a bit of a different look. Misa towards CT arch, Giuliano sitting down kind of by the off angle over by Library, Zaz and Crazy double up towards pit side. This is a big hold. This has to work out for them. They are against his pistol, so it should be clean, but it can get scary and it can get dangerous. You can get overwhelmed.
Yeah, and there's still that AWP on Hazel, but it's crazy. He's just been such a force to be reckoned with down in this pit. Hazel still on the AWP, and not someone you want to give a chance. She's got her foot in the door, but will she get in any further? Yeah, she could go for the rotate.
And she's got a smoke.
She's legging it. She's got her running shoes on. And she's foaming at the mouth at the prospect to get in a plant in this B bomb site. Crazy and Petra, they'll just double up. They're going to play for the retake.
Does she just do it?
I think she just goes, yeah, she's just going to run in.
That's a BDP right there. Bomb plant. She can smoke her way out, I guess. She can do whatever she wants. If you are now on Petra and Crazy side,
ooh, I like this.
This is naughty as hell. This punishes anyone for not doubling up on the retake here. And she might catch one in towards CT. Oh, she's missed the timing. Hazel, that's so unfortunate. Hazel. She played that so well. That had so much potential, but the timing was just there. And I mean, it is what it is. That could have been a lot worse for Besiktas. They could have been really punished.
Yeah, it's like one of those plays that could have been but never was, sadly. Like the timing physically milliseconds off. Hazel was just holding where Petra went peeking into. Besiktas up 8-2. And yeah, I mean, that round gets a bit dicey, but as you kind of touched upon, it was a great setup from Besiktas for that play. And also critically, for the first time, we had a different setup over towards Arch side. You had Misa hiding in the cubby and then supported from long. And then you also had a double up down in the pit. So if you're 7pm, wherever you're running, there's that trade potential, right? It's not the kind of drawback of the three player.
Ooh, Giuliano's in danger. Hold on. They almost try to funnel them in, right? You saw the deeper Molotov coming out. I think it was from Petra, kind of forcing them to play up Banana and not be able to fall off it. But that damage on Juliana was huge.
And that's already been enough. Oh, she's very lucky to get away from that nade. Thing is, she might only be 12 HP, but with the AWP in hand, it's still very much a force to be reckoned with. And then now a third person rotating around. Petra going to be here as well. Yeah, both AWPs at this B bomb site. 7pm might be about to run the gauntlet, and at what lies on the other side, it is not pretty.
Now this is going to be rough. I guess it's a bit of curious information. You're going to call AWPs in CT, but they can't get rid of Petra. Juliana does go down eventually, but there's still a player on the side. They need to account for Misa, and they don't do it, and Misa punishes them for that sort of insolence, that petulance. As Petra is there at the end to close things down. That was just really well played. I was a little surprised they brought over the other AWP. I was like, is that the right idea? And it was. You know what? Who am I to doubt it? Well played. Petra's having a game.
Well, also, I mean, like, if you look at this from like an information perspective from 7pm, they knew there was an AWP inside of that site, right? So the AWP starts rallying in from CT, and as you said, they're going to be calling, okay, the AWP CT, they're trying to line these smokes up. And once they kill Juliana within the bomb site, they believe, okay, we know the other guy, we know the other one CT, we got the other B bomb site player, we're all good. And then it was just Misa springing from that trap and finding the remaining players. So yeah, a very clean round from Besiktas at 7pm. They will be kicking themselves that they didn't at least even consider the possibility of a 3B hold.
Yeah. Because I love that A hit from 7pm, if I'm honest. I really like their kind of structured on the A hit. I think it's very nice, very, very well rounded.
It does seem like B is where they run a bit dry on how they want to do it.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen the CT smoke hit yet. I feel like they've been missing it. So
which is
that's a bit
baffling.
worrying.
If you're able to pull off quite an intricate hit towards A, you can do a B smoke. It just feels like we haven't seen much out of them yet. And this round, it's a limited buy. It looks, no, I don't want to say it was a Russian buy. I don't think there was armor with that rifle, but we do have it now on MMC. She picked that one up, so gonna swing that one over, see if they can do some damage. The old flash run up mid, do what you can. Zaz is happy to greet that. Does eventually get found by Leo, but by now I think this is kind of run to a close. Even with another kill, that'd just be a gun being taken away. The round ain't gonna come through from it.
No, there should be absolutely no chance here for Leo. And yeah, creeping past that CT AWP, but Giuliano posted up on the angle. And this lead just continuing to build up. Someone as well who you really have to draw some attention to, has been having a phenomenal game, is Petra, right? 17-3, top in the charts. When you come into a squad and you're AWPing alongside the likes of Giuliano, it can be hard to still be the standout AWPer, and she's doing a great job of exactly that. I mean, she really hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah.
And that's pretty scary, right? Like, I haven't seen Petra like this damn impressive in a little while.
Oh, how was that a tag?
Even then, through the door, getting brought down to 14 points of health. Hazel's been tagged up as well early, and I mean, the walking wounded here on the side of 7pm. They're already kind of looking pretty scared, almost down and out of this round on the damage alone. They really do have to just slow this one down and go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, what worries me as well is Besiktas have so many mollies to play with as well. They've got so much time to be bought. This time, if it's a quicker hit up towards A, they haven't got that player rotated over for Besiktas, so they can get a bit more of a fair fight. But Misa's on the way, and it actually will be in time. So Petra just needs to hold CT Archer a little longer. And now Misa's in the perfect spot to be able to create supporting systems. It looks like we're going to see that A hit again. It looks somewhat similar to it. They did overwhelm Petra before. Kind of went for that deagle a little unnecessarily. This time showing off what she can do. When she keeps that focus, keeps it locked down. Zaz going to keep taps towards it, depending on Crazy there as well. Both of them in a nice little crossfire towards Pit. Incredibly hard to dig people out of if you don't have a Molotov, a nade, something to pressure them into a bad spot. But Zaz now getting a little angsty, gonna find one. Crazy does fall, they know where they are, and that's the perfect hold. No pressure felt, it seemed like, for Besiktas. They were in such a good spot.
Yeah, and this is really where we kind of see the limitations of this 7pm team really shining through, in the sense of, you look at how Besiktas have been playing over towards this A bomb site, and it has been the same setup every single round, right? The double Pit, and then Petra over towards long with the AWP. You feel like, right, if you're able to just go for like a wall of smokes down in the Pit, throw some mollies in, maybe go for an apps burst, there are certainly ways you could challenge it, but instead we keep seeing the same rinse-repeat A play, and now Besiktas, they've decided they want to be the ones to dictate the pace. They want to choose where these fights are had. And they're already down mid. Blindside the initial player. Maze has gone. And Zaz continuing to put up kills across the board. Oh, and they're not even aware that there's still players here in middle. The bomb's under control of Besiktas Leo. She's wondering, like, this round's been live for 30 seconds and it's already over.
I love that. Give me some. That's perfect, right? You play a very refined, a very drilled side. You don't go crazy aggressive. You kind of don't do what you're known for, and then you just throw it in, right?
Yeah,
one round,
right
one random round. You're like, there we go. Let's go for it. Got a really nice half. But this just shows how good mechanically Zaz is. She almost had that too. More bullets in the clip, and it's all hers. It's one of those things that scares me about Zaz is she is the all-around package, I think, in CSGO for a female player at the moment. She will always maintain that. Her aim is just so good. There's the little flash to set them up towards second mid for the peak from Apps. It didn't work out. Pressure towards Banana quickly, though. Going to keep Giuliano on her toes this time. See if the other classic member can deliver like we just saw Zaz do.
Ooh, yeah, they've gone aggressive once again over here in the apartments. I mean, I can't imagine how Besiktas hadn't been changing at all how they were playing over towards this A bomb site. These last 2 rounds, they've done exactly that, right? They've really switched things up, and 7pm just don't seem ready for that. Now, 4 players stacked up over at Banana, and you can see Besiktas, they might even read into this. They might be rotating a play around now. Giuliano has to try and buy some time here, and she might buy a little bit more than time, and she's just lighting up the scoreboard. Misa's left alone, but she's only got 1 kill to find. Hazel will get the tag, but can't follow up with the kill, and it's a 13-2 half solidified. It has been a hell of a game from Besiktas. These AWPs especially looking devastating. Dominant half. Will it continue? Join us after the break to find out.
Cuando yo te vi, sentí que eras para mí. Te quiero descubrir y yo no quiero compartir. Tus ojos brillan fuera de tu control. Cuando yo te vi, sentí que eras para mí hoy. Ay, 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 te voy a enseñar. We will stand our ground.
We're back, and what a half it was. Dominant performance so far from Besiktas, but can it keep up on the T side? Can they just be this powerful hit squad that we just saw completely dominate that first half?
Yeah, I mean, with so many players stepping up within Besiktas, it feels like it's going to be hard to stop them, right? Because you're not just having to stop Petra, you're not just having to stop Zaz or Giuliano. Those names are scary enough anyway. But it's like, it's not just one player. It's 3, 4 players stepping up massively.
Look at that ADR.
Yeah.
It was 120-something.
Yeah, Petra's having a phenomenal game. She's actually bought the utility in this round. She might be fragging out, but she's still looking to help her team. Long smoke goes in. That's going to block off Moto. And now they have this arch presence, but they look like they want to go through this smoke and actually wrap into the A bomb site. Bit unconventional, but it's blindsided 7pm. Em's gone running through on the back, trying to blindside them, but she gets shut down, and this leaves...
It's well done.
That leaves no one.
Like, look at that hit. Like, just go back and watch it. It basically brings the Glocks to, like, the perfect range, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly where you can completely dominate. It's going to put every single, like, long-range fight you want with that USPS just on the back foot. This is a scary thing. We're seeing Besiktas play in this game, right? We've for a while, you've seen them coast, and this feels like we're seeing finally Besiktas having to really dig deep and prove what they can do. Big purchase coming out as well. A hell of a lot of rifles, so... For their sake, you got to hope they keep this clean. But I mean, you're at 14-2. You can lose a couple of rounds. Pretty good.
Yeah, you got some room before you get a little too worried. And I mean, yeah, it is just this eco now. 7pm trying to push down Banana, and they're gonna get absolutely melted. Zaz here padding those stats. Misa's looking for some kills as well, and this should be a nice, quick, clean round. They're not even going for bomb plants. They've already got Giuliano all the way in CT. They're just hunting these kills. 15-2, comfortable as ever.
Oh, my word. Potter, what was that prediction?
Yeah, what was that? I mean...
Potter, what's going on?
I tell you what I really like about this Besiktas team the most is like... I feel like 7pm, I was saying one thing that I liked watching them at WSG is that they had like a lot of gimmicks and stuff like that they were throwing in.
Yeah.
Whereas Besiktas, they don't need gimmicky rounds, right? They're just playing such good fundamentals, right?
Yeah, it's awesome to watch. And I actually like the theory. I think for those couple of rounds you saw from 7pm, I think if we saw the old Besiktas, you'd have seen them being more successful. But we're seeing a better version now. This is a stronger team that we're getting to witness. And well, one more round and they've done it.
I think the thing that's a bit sad is potentially we're not going to get to see any CT side from 7pm. We're never going to really get to know what. And that's the sad thing, right? Is like you didn't get to start on your side, you didn't get to have the AWP out, so now you don't have it in this round. And it's exactly what we spoke about leading into this game. I was saying how Hazel, one of the things that I noticed is usually it's if their economy's bottomed out, if they don't get those AWPs, and well, she may potentially never get to see one on the CT side. So sad times for Hazel, sad times for 7pm if they can't pick this round up. It will be all over. Giuliano already down 3 short. Bomb still dropped back over towards T-Ramp. Besiktas don't even have to commit to this A play. They've still got Misa waiting over at Banana as well, so all the time in the world to make their minds up.
And after that last smoke on Banana, there's almost nothing left in the form of utility from CTs. So this is now dry runs for them, and it ain't fun. You get to stare down the barrel of a gun of a player playing incredibly well. CT Arch Rap going to come in. It looks like we do see 2 players trying to hit through down. Banana Leo's going to do well, isolating the players here. Zaz left on her own, and she does well on her own, but now 2 of them have to combine. You've got Misa and Zaz trying to do the best they can, and the best they can is pretty damn good. The 2v2 ensues as now we see the players off Banana working their way up quad.
Yeah, but it's Zaz and Misa inside of this bomb site. Tucked away, they've got this crossfire set up. Both players coming in from short. Definitely not ideal, but they're whittling down Misa. It's Zaz to get one, and into the 1v1.
Oh my God.
So low on HP, she's doing the damage, but M's gonna get the kill. She will grab that defuse, and 7pm, they live to fight another day. 3-15, but I tell you what, right, it still doesn't leave you in a great spot because you lose 4 players, you can buy up here, but you need M to drop a couple of guns across, and you're not really gonna... I think your buy in the last round might even be better than the purchase here.
Yeah, this isn't nice.
It's a bit dicey. I mean, you needed the round at the end of the day, but you would have hoped it was a bit cleaner.
Yeah, you'll take what you can get when you're in that spot.
Yeah,
I mean, it was Zaz was pulling off a 4K then to basically win that out, but let's see what we see coming out from Besiktas this time. A little bit lighter on the purchase for Petra, just down to the Deagle, but otherwise still pretty good. Outmatching pound for pound the guns at least coming in from 7pm, and the utility is going to be vital. And I wonder if they're going to go for a bit of an explosive play towards A here. Maybe try and pressure through apartments with Giuliano's spot. May not. May just go straight at mid.
Well, one thing, I think if you're Besiktas, you're probably anticipating that maybe 7pm have opted to go over, chosen firepower over utility in this round, and they haven't really for the most part. So I think the amount of utility could be a bit surprising to Besiktas. They try to go back to this A play.
Petra, how?
Yeah, there's like 3 smokes down, and she still finds Hazel through it. So advantage taken, and now this A-Rap coming back in. This was how Besiktas found their pistol.
Oh, no, that's no good for Leo. Completely overwhelmed on every single side. we're back into this similar situation in a worse situation.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it should be done. They just go back to that pistol round strat, right? The one smoke over towards long, they blast their way through it. And on individual prowess alone, they've got this bomb down. They're 5v2 up. This should be Besiktas all day long, taking the victory here. It's just a formality now as the push comes on in. It's Misa and Zaz to find it. Besiktas, they'll pick up the victory in a very, very dominant fashion indeed. 16-3. They look damn good.
Yeah, they really do. Petra had an absolute tear of a game. She played so well, really came into her own. Zaz putting up numbers like you'd expect. To be fair, it is Zaz. I'm not too surprised seeing her doing well, but overall a very good game, and I think a very clear picture of how well Besiktas had prepared for this and how well they're playing individually. And I think if we saw an old version of a lineup from that team, they could have maybe been pressured more by 7pm.
Yeah, for me, right, I think that a few things that make this Besiktas roster so exciting is if Petra can keep this up, then you've got a 3-fragging core that's fantastic.
Yep.
And also, I really liked Misa. I think she was doing a great job
really
of
nice
being like
play.
a role player, right? Like she was just the one always slowing down plays. She was trading out for the team.
Yep.
She was great at in the decisions in such critical moments in that game where, you know, you might see other players overextend or maybe pick a couple of fights that they shouldn't. She was always there, you know, taking the safe, kind of measured approach. And that was maybe what Team Secret was lacking towards the end, right? As you were saying, it was all about the aggression, not so much now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what we see from this team, maybe against, I guess, an opponent that can go toe-for-toe.
Yeah, I really can't wait till you get, like, you know, your Dignitas as your CLG. That's going to be great. Yeah, that is going to be great.
Good. And of course, that is coming up through the rest of the tournament, but a really good game there from Besiktas, a really good kind of litmus test as to where they are and how far they can go. But I think that's enough from us. Let's head back to the desk, where Potter can clarify why she supported 7pm.
So Potter, please tell us. You know, I mean, the storyline for this match has to be that banana control, right? I mean, I think 7pm kind of got traumatized a little earlier. We were discussing it in the green room, but yeah, they got traumatized a little too early. As we saw in the 5th round, they almost broke Besiktas' money. Besiktas was down to 2 pistols, a FAMAS, and a rifle, and 1 op, right? So 7pm definitely did their job diligently to start off the match. However, Petra showed up, right? Petra showed up, such a amazing deagle round, but not only that, her op presence on this map which was very surprising, and that top banana control was just something that 7pm just did not have an answer for. You saw them going after it time and time again, and there was one round, in fact, that Hazel had the op. I think she only had it 2 times in this entire matchup, but the one round that she did have the op, they were able to actually kind of contest that banana a little and found a little bit of success, but unfortunately that was pretty much all that happened.
Giuliano just showed her presence and banana, and as you said, they couldn't really do anything there, and it just looked like that they kind of gave up on banana in the beginning of the game and went more towards A, where Petra was there as a 3rd player, because they didn't really show presence anymore in banana. So yeah, that match was quite...
For sure, I think they were missing a piece, you know, as we were talking about in the green room, they just... Every time they contested banana, they actually ended up committing to B bomb site, and that you kind of need a second game plan, a second piece to your strategy here, and that is to put pressure all across the map and keep your opponents guessing. But that I think that kind of fell in the water because of that whole Petra Giuliano factor.
For sure, and I think just as you had mentioned, that was the dichotomy that we saw. We saw a team that was playing very, very scared, and on the flip side, we saw from Besiktas, they were looking extremely confident, specifically from Petra having the game that she did. I mean, talk to us about what it was like watching her have those rounds.
Yeah, I mean, that round with the half buy, that was most crucial, because at that point, 7pm had the chance to come back. It was quite early in the game, but then Petra happened with a 3-dig, which was insane, and after that she's been just popping off ops, shots everywhere, and yeah, she's been really performing good, and yeah, she's been so aggressive, and it has worked, and she had all these smoke shots like through the smoke. It's crazy, yeah.
That reaction from Petra as well. And what's more impressive about that round in particular, they were already down numbers. They were already down I mean, 7pm made so much space to get up mid, up towards the bracket control, and even contesting towards that arch. But Petra made that decision, that split-second decision to just push through that mini smoke and make it into that site, even though she was at such a disadvantageous position. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, those 3 1-digs, man. So good. So good.
Real good.
All right, well, it's nice to hear from you guys, but we have the queen herself, Giuliano, here after an amazing game. 16-3 victory for you guys. I think initially we weren't sure how this would go just because 7pm is one of those unknown factor teams, but did you expect it to be so easy?
No, I said before the game that we should expect them to be good and don't underestimate them, but still play with our confidence that we know we have. We know that Hazel is really good with the up, and so we were just going in the game doing our thing. Yeah.
For sure, and it felt like at a certain point in the game, the confidence from your team started to skyrocket. It looked like you guys were just really, really comfortable, and from the other side, it looked like they were playing a little bit scared. Did you also feel that as you were playing?
Yeah, I started feeling they were having a heavier pace of their game in the start, and they started to slow it down when some of their rushes didn't work, and their aggressiveness, and also the Petra's deagle round, I think that slowed them down a bit. But yeah, in general, we felt that we were more confident and had the better game, yeah.
For sure, and Giuliano, I want to speak a little bit to you and your team, and you're a player that's been at the top. When you were part of Team Secret, you guys were winning everything left and right, and now you're in this position where you're in a really good position to prove that you can be at the top once again. So being in this position where that #1 title is up for grabs, what's the motivation like to get back there?
It's very high. We've climbed to the top twice, or maybe even 3 times with different teams now. So I feel like we've been so close these past 2 events. We had the semifinals against CLG. The past event was really close in the semis. We had the lead in the first map, lost 16-13 both maps, and they went to win the whole tournament. And same with Dignitas in Katowice. So I feel like we've been close, and I'm just putting the work I can, and we will get there, I'm sure.
For sure, and CLG Red is in fact in your group, and there is a chance that you're going to face them. It's CLG Red and Forever 21. So do you expect that it's going to be CLG Red that you're going to be facing in that winners match?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, because they're the favorites, and they also took in Kath now, who's a really strong player as well. But you never know. It's a mixed BO1. We'll see. But yeah, I think we're gonna face CLG. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, an incredibly strong performance from you guys to kick things off. So congratulations once again. We'll see you later today. But for now, we are gonna be right back, guys. When we come back, it's gonna be Copenhagen Flames taking on Demise.